This is a reading for Eva Mendes and Ryan Gosling. So to begin with, I feel that when they met each other, they both had a lot of issues with their past, stemming from their past relationships. And I feel like they both didn't feel like it was safe for each other. And I feel like they both had to try really hard to stay optimistic about love and not be like bitter. But I feel like once they started to get to know each other and they started to realize that they liked each other, I feel like they kept an open mind. They worked really hard to do that. But I think what I get is that they sort of, because they had so many issues with past relationships, I feel like they were both a little bit desperate. When they met each other, they wanted so badly for it to work, that they sort of convinced themselves that they were each other's soulmates. But which led to an engagement and a marriage. But I'm not sure if they're married, but it definitely led to an engagement. And we know that they've brought children into the world. So they worked really hard to get to a place where they felt that they were each other's soulmates. But what I get is that they're not actually each other's soulmates, and they are currently fighting this feeling of knowing that they're not each other's soulmates, because they want so badly for it to work out. But I feel, unfortunately, from this read, that they're gonna have another disappointment on their hands, because number one, I think that I got the feeling that for Ryan, I think Ava was, once he got to know her, I feel like she might not have been the exact type of girl that he wanted to be with, but he didn't want to have another disappointment on his hands. So he tried to keep an open mind and to make it work for him, and convincing himself that they were meant to be together. On her side of things, I feel like she carries a lot of insecurity, not feeling like it's safe for her, not being optimistic, and so that I feel hurts the relationship, because she can get very insecure, especially when he's off working. And so I feel like that causes a problem. And when they get into these situations with each other, when he's feeling like this, he's feeling what did I get myself into? She's not the girl for me. He wants to free himself. He wants to get out, right? When she starts to get into this insecure stage, and I feel like she gets very negative and very in a depressed state. When she starts to get like that, I feel like she starts to not only lash out at him, which makes him want to free himself, but she retreats from the relationship. So she shuts down. She shuts off, and that like frustrates him, because like that's not the type of person that he wants to be with. But he's trying to keep an open mind, and she's trying to like not be, so insecure and depressed and angry and negative, because they want to be each other's soulmates and they want to keep this together. But unfortunately, because of all these issues, it's going to lead to unrequited love on both their sides. So, like, he's going to have unrequited love because he's tired of, like, dealing with her negativity and, like, her insecurities. And she's going to have unrequited love because she's tired of, like, him sort of, like, treating her like how do I explain this? Treating her like she's not the type of person that he like wanted to be with. Like almost like treating her like she's crazy, even though like a little bit the way that she acts towards him is a little nutty, like, because she's not being like fair. I feel like she like doesn't take a whole lot of responsibility for her actions or like her own like issues, and she sort of blames it on him, and then he's like, oh my god, you're crazy, like I want out. Well, like, she's gonna have unrequited love because of him like reacting that way, and so the unrequited love is going to lead to a separation. And unfortunately, like, I almost feel like the children for them were like band-aids on the relationship. Like, when they started to realize like it wasn't going well and it wasn't going to work out, I feel like they're that typical couple that is like, let's have a baby, it will fix everything. When in reality, it just made it harder, it made it worse. It makes it harder to move on. I mean, obviously, when children are brought into the world, it's never a mistake. Karmically, they're meant to be here. That's why these two people were brought together. But they're just not meant to be together forever. They're not soulmates, even though they wanted so badly to be each other's soulmate. So unfortunately, I see a split in the future. But on the bright side, they did bring two beautiful children into the world, so